Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Freebeat, and this is Sample Something. Good morning. Ready for day 2?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sample Something. This is Season 1, Episode 2. We are currently in Boise, Idaho. It's about 6 a.m. We're about to hit the road. Our first stop, Twin Falls, Idaho. Let's go. All right, we have made it to stop number 1 for the day. This is Twin Falls, Idaho, and you're probably wondering why I'm standing in what appears to be some sort of housing development with dirt everywhere, dirt road under the car. Well, the idea was that we were gonna go check out a very cool ramp where stuntman Evel Knievel attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon in 1974. However, it appears that our road is blocked. I believe that right there is the gate that we needed to be open to go check out the ramp. However, we can still go see the Snake River Canyon as well as Shoshone Falls. We might be able to see the ramp from the viewpoint for the falls. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Is there something we can sample here, do you think? What's this right here? Let's sample that. Sure, here we go. What kind of sound does this make? Here we go. Sure, why not? Kind of improvising it as we go. Let's go check out the falls, I guess. All right, we're still in Twin Falls, Idaho, and behind me, Shoshone Falls. At 212 feet tall, that's 65 meters, it's actually 45 feet taller than Niagara Falls, which has earned Shoshone Falls the nickname, the Niagara of the West. At the bottom of the falls, the Snake River winding its way through the Snake River Canyon. The very same canyon that Evel Knievel attempted to jump in a modified rocket in 1974. Unfortunately, we can't quite see the ramp from here. I believe it's past that cliff on the left, actually. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to see it today, which is kind of a bummer, but just being here is pretty darn cool. While it might seem sort of obvious, I think the best sample we can get here is the ambiance of the falls themselves. So let's get it. I'm so nervous. Please don't drop your phone. Just kidding. All right, I think we got it. Hold it to the mic, maybe. Yeah, we definitely got it. I don't want to leave. See if we can get a picture, like a video of us. All right, as hard as it may be, we do have a schedule to keep today, so I think we're gonna say goodbye to Twin Falls and Shoshone Falls. Let's go. All right, so we've already gotten 2 samples, the first of which was that broken piece of, I think, PVC pipe at the Evel Knievel, I think it was near the Evel Knievel ramp, and it sounds like this. Sounds pretty good. It is fairly similar to the other sounds we've gotten, but I think it might make for a pretty solid snare drum type sound. Let's go in and cut the tail of that off. As you've probably noticed, I have loaded it as a one-shot on here. Let's go in and take the tail of that off. Yeah, that sounds really nice, actually. Oh yeah, that's the seatbelt. So it's got that little tail at the end there. So here's the pattern we ended last episode with. And like I said in that episode, it's important to remember that I'm using the SmplTrek for the ideas. That will probably not be the lead sound or the pattern, the beat that we use for the actual track. Right now, we're just working on ideas and trying to get to a point where we feel like we have different parts of a song. I will be exporting all of these tracks into my DAW, which is Ableton. At least it will be for this video. So let's go into this pattern here and put that PVC pipe on beats 2 and 4 and have a listen. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. Like I said, this sample here does sound pretty similar to the ones we got in the previous episode. However, the other sample that we just got was Shoshone Falls right here. And of course, this sample is very, very noisy. It's kind of just like some static noise in the background, which means I think we're going to be able to turn it into a pretty cool riser. So I have it set up as a one-shot track here on the SmplTrek. I just put it on beat 1 of our pattern here. And actually what I'm going to go and do right now is set this pattern to 64 steps long, and we will make it quarter notes, eighth notes, that's fine. That way, it's just going to play once and then silence for a bit before it plays again, so we'll actually be able to hear this in context. So it's not just continuously looping, because what I want to do is go into automation and see if we can't automate the filter here or the pitch. Okay, so I don't believe we can automate the filter on the SmplTrek, which is kind of a bummer. However, we should be able to go through and automate the neighbors flushing the toilet upstairs. Can you hear that? We should be able to go through and automate the pitch step by step. So let's try that. Now the neighbor is showering. Nice, perfect. Let's just see how this sounds. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, let's go back to the beginning, and I'm going to start way down here and see if we can do 16 steps of this. I'm just going step by step and slowly increasing the pitch on each step. So this should be pretty interesting sounding. There we go, let's just try it like that. Okay. Still kind of a fun effect, isn't it? Yeah. Cool. Let's just hear that in context with the rest of our track here. So what I'm actually going to do is hold function, press A, copy this right here. There we go. Now I just realized, due to how the SmplTrek works, we can't trigger the sample itself and hear the automation that we applied. What we have to do is go in, tell it to play, and then trigger the whole scene. So we can go like this to hear it. Just like that. It doesn't necessarily work right now on the SmplTrek, but remember, we are going to be exporting all of these tracks, and I'll be working with them in Ableton, so I think we'll be able to do something with it there. Also, as this season of Sample Something progresses, I'm realizing that this might not be the best use case for the SmplTrek. I'm thinking it'll work a lot better if you put samples into it that have already been edited and tailored and doctored to what you want them to be. This isn't necessarily great for taking organic samples and turning them into music, like something like the Polyend Tracker or MPC-1 would be. So just something to note. This track, I think, is going to wind up being very different than what I initially thought it would be. But we have this little riser. Now I think I'm going to do some individual clip triggering while we hit the road. All right, everybody. Hi. As you can see, driving the car. We are in Utah. We're actually in Salt Lake City. We're actually on our way out of Salt Lake City. The plan was to go visit Temple Square, which is like home base for the Mormon Church. And we drove by it and everything, but it was too crowded to park at. Like, all of the free parking was taken up, all of the paid parking was taken up. There were so many people on the street that we'd have to wait for like 4 or 5 rotations of a light cycle just to cross a block. I'm not sure if there was an event going on or if it's just always that busy, but it was basically going to be hell, pardon the pun, I guess, to try and navigate through. We looked for a while for parking, and it just wasn't going to happen. And yeah, it was incredibly stressful. And I was constantly afraid I was going to hit someone or someone's kid or something, because, you know, for the most part, people were obeying the traffic rules in terms of pedestrians, but there were some people that were definitely just going for it. And yeah, it wasn't anything we really wanted to try and deal with for the next couple hours. So we left. So I do feel bad. We were going to get a couple samples there, but yeah, so like I said, we are on our way out of Salt Lake City. We're actually on our way to our final destination. I don't have to yell. You're there, but the microphone's here. We're actually on our way to our final destination today, which is Green River, Utah. So who knows? Maybe there's going to be some fun stuff to sample there. I think there's a park across the way we looked at. I don't know. We'll find...
We're on the river.
Is there an actual river?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure there'll be something to sample. Probably won't be a perfectly acoustically tuned room. Well, maybe they'll have one, I don't know. But yeah, a little disappointing, but sometimes that kind of stuff happens. That is the most people I have ever seen at anything in my entire life, I will say that. Also, I am going 85 miles an hour right now, and well, you can see. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Doesn't get like that in Oregon. 85 and I'm getting pulled over. So, yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Catch up with you all in a little bit. We got to find some place to pee because it's been 4 hours. So, yeah, looking for a bathroom. Anyway, back to some B-roll, back to some driving footage, I guess. See y'all at the next stop. Well, we've been driving for about 3 hours now. We are almost to our final destination for the day, and we haven't really found any spots that were suitable for pulling over until we came to this rest stop. And I mean, come on. This is something else. I don't even know really where we are. 40 miles, I guess, northwest of Green River, I think. This is crazy. This is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's so wide. It's so wide open.
The mountains are so pretty.
Yeah. Kind of want to do two rocks together, make like a scraping sound.
Do it. There's a big rock right
Here we go. Here's a rock. Is this going to sound good? There we go. That'll work. We can turn that into something melodic. The wind is really crazy. We'll see how this microphone does. So far, it's been pretty all right. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Let's do one more like hard and fast scrape. So bad. There we go. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, we got some sounds. I guess nothing left to do but head on through to Green River, Utah. Here we go. Okay, we've actually got one more sample to get at the rest stop. One thing we haven't seen a whole lot of on this trip has been water. And as you can see right here, there's this big old nasty puddle with some rocks. So let's toss a rock in there and get a sample. Nailed it. Okay, so we've got 3 new samples to work with. The first one is this longer rock scrape. And honestly, where we are right now in this project with kind of just developing, or at least attempting to develop a sort of drum kit with all of these sounds, I'm not sold on it just yet. However, this fast scrape is pretty cool, and I think I want to put it leading up to a snare drum hit. So shack, so shot, like scrape and then snare drum hit. So I just went ahead and put that sound on the and of 1 and the and of beat 3. Against our drum pattern, I muted the melodic part, and let's see how it sounds. Yeah. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at the puddle splash here now. It's pretty cool. There are quite a few things I think we can do with it, but I'm honestly kind of hearing it as a little bit of an accentuation at the end of a phrase. So doom da doom ga splash doom ga splash, like that, right at the end, kind of subtle. So I've got that loaded up on track 10, and what I actually have done is set the length of this clip here to 80 steps long, and I've made each step represent an eighth note. So I have one on the right here on the second measure, I guess we'll call it here. And then if we go through, I have another one on the of beat 4. Again, we can't really count them like this because I have everything quantized a little differently. And then I have 2 at the very, very end of the pattern. So let's hit play and here are the sounds. Here it comes. Yeah. Again, here come 2 more. That's fun. Yeah, cool. I'm quite liking how this little kit is coming together. Percussion-wise, I think there's a lot of cool sounds we're going to be able to use in here, and while we still might have to grab some actual drum sounds, I'm quite liking the variety of sounds we're going to be able to spice up those drums with here. In fact, this pattern is already sounding pretty good. I definitely want a real kick drum, and I might do something different with the car door sample, which is what I'm using for the kick drum right now, but I think this is going in a good direction. Let's add in the melody real quick. Whoops, mixer function, unmute the melody, and head back to the car. we have reached our final destination for the day, Green River, Utah. And as we were driving by just across the street from our hotel, we saw this out of the background, or out of the corner of our eyes, at the Wesley John Powell River History Museum, which is unfortunately closed right now. However, Green River is apparently famous for watermelons, and this is supposedly the largest watermelon in the world. So we are definitely going to get a sample of that, because that's way too cool not to record. Here we go. That is exactly what I thought a watermelon would sound like. And with that, we now have our final sample for the day, this lovely watermelon. So obviously we have these 3 different knocks here, and they are all distinctive. So let's trim up the first one here and have a listen. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Okay. We also have this little bit of noise after it. A little bit of wind, I think. And then number 3 is actually a little lower in pitch. But it has that nasty noise at the end there. Now, if I were on a device that had a little more sound editing capabilities, you know, with a proper envelope, that could probably turn into a kick drum. But this series is all about, you know, using the gear that's in front of me right now. So I think our best angle here is to take the first knock and maybe use it almost as like a snare drum hi-hat hybrid. I know that sounds weird. I've got that loaded into a one-shot on track 5. If we go into sample setting, we can turn up the pitch, but I don't think we need to. Actually sounds kind of cool down low. Let's sequence that pattern in there and see how that sounds. Da 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 da. That's honestly not awful. You'll notice I went in as it was playing and pitched it back up all the way, and I really quite like it. Before we move on, though, I want to try one more pattern. I want to go digga-dit, digga-digga-dit. So da-da-da, digga-digga-dit. Let's hear how it sounds like this. I like that. Let's add a little to it. So da 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 da. Yeah, that one note right there might actually make a world of difference. What can we automate there? Play length, pitch, note velocity, micro timing, level. We'll just leave it as is for now. Yeah, what that does right there is it kind of amplifies that rock scrape, actually leading into the snare drum on beat 4. Nice. All right, well, that was our last sample for the day, so let's have a listen to the fruits of our labor here, and we'll head back to Green River, Utah for some thunder and lightning.
Oh, it's moving.
Yeah, that's going on. We have made it to, well, like I said, our final destination of Green River, Utah. And got some thunderstorm action going on. There's a lot of people all over, so I don't want to, there's a lot of people having, let me rephrase, there's a lot of older people having really relaxing evenings. I don't want to go young people vlogging all over their night. So we'll make this short here. Is this a vlog? I think it is technically. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think we are going to wrap episode 2 up right here. So I do thank you all for watching. Sorry that we couldn't get to Temple Square, but I feel like with the samples we've got, we're going to be able to make a pretty solid foundation. We still have, I believe, 3 more episodes of collecting samples, so plenty of room for the pool to grow.
I want to get another one like that on camera.
Yeah.
It was moving closer, so.
Oh.
Almost. The gray's above us now.
I just felt a raindrop.
Oh. It's coming.
Oh. We got 2 cameras on it now.
Someone else will? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
You got that one? All right. Like the back rooms? Yeah. This feels like the back rooms. So, anyway, that's the cool shot. So it just started raining pretty heavily outside. That's why we're inside now. I do thank you all so very much for watching Season 1, Episode 2 of Sample Something. We're going to pick up tomorrow with some more sampling, some more exploring. If you did like this episode, you know the drill, leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike, that's okay too. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help out. If you'd like to get your hands on any of the samples, you can do that over on my Patreon page. You also can get access to things like our patron-only Discord server, and that also goes right back into helping support the channel and growing Sample Something into something less weird than this ending shot that we've chosen here. So thank you all so very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Sample Something. Good night.